Hello students, let us discuss tuples in this session. Tuple is a sequence of values or items that is similar to list. The values stored in a tuple can be any type and they are indexed by integers. Tuples are immutable, that is, values within tuples cannot be modified or reassigned. Tuples are also comparable and hashable objects. Hence, they can be made as keys in dictionaries. Okay, comparable means we can compare two tuple items whether that two tuple items are less than, greater than, or equal. Hashable means suppose if the object is hashable, it has hash value that remains same during lifetime. So because of this property, we can make tuple as a key for dictionary. A tuple can be created in Python as a comma-separated list of items, may or may not be enclosed within parentheses. Okay, we have one example here. T, that is the tuple name, equal to ABCDE, that is the item or values of that particular tuple. Okay, here we are creating the tuple without using the parentheses. Okay, suppose if you try to print the value of tuple t, it will display values, okay, that values that is present inside the parenthesis. But usually we will enclose that tuples in parenthesis. Okay, that will help us quickly identify tuples when we look at the Python code. Okay, suppose if that items that is present inside the parenthesis, we can identify that is the tuple. Again, another property of this tuple, values can be mixed type. That means here we can insert any type of values inside the tuple. For example, here we have one example T1, okay, that has three values or three items. First item is the string type, second item that is the integer type, and third item that is the string type. Suppose if you want to create the tuple with a single element, then you have to include the final comma. For example, here T1 that contains only one element or one item A. Now during the creation of this tuple T1, we have to write the comma at the end. Then only Python will consider that as tuple. Okay, suppose if you create the tuple with having the single element without writing the comma at the end, then that Python it will consider that as some other expressions, or it will consider that variable as some other variable. That means here we have T2, we are creating the tuple T2 and we are assigning the single value for that T2, but at the end we are not writing the comma. So here that Python it will evaluate this particular expression as string. Okay, so if you give type of T2, output will be type str. That means that T2 that is the string type variable. Again, suppose if you give T2 equal to 1 and here 1 that is the integer type. Now if you give type of T2, it will display type and integer. It won't consider this as tuple, it will just consider T2 as one integer variable. So suppose if the tuple contains single element, then during the creation at the end we have to give one comma. Another way we can construct the tuple, in that we can use the built-in function tuple. Suppose if you pass no argument for that tuple function, means it will create the empty tuple. Okay, for example, t equal to tuple, that is the built-in function, call that without passing any parameters. Now it will create the empty tuple and name of that tuple is t. Again, here if the argument is a sequences, that means for that tuple method, if you pass some argument, that may be the string or it may be the list or it may be the tuple, the result of the call to tuple is a tuple with the elements of the sequence. Okay, that means here we are calling the tuple function, and we are passing one string as a argument for that tuple function. Now in this particular case, it will create the tuple and elements of that tuple, that is the characters that is present in this string. Okay, here if you give print of t, it will create the tuple with the elements L, U, P, I, N and S. Okay, again most list operators are also work on tuples. For example, the square bracket operator that is used as the indexes and element. Okay, for example, here suppose if you want to access the individual element of that tuple, we can use the index number inside the square bracket. Okay, same method we are using in list also. Again, we can use the slice operator in tuples. Okay, so here slice operator select a range of elements from 1 to 3. Okay, now print t of 1:3 means it will print two elements of that tuple. That element that is present in the first index, again element that is present in the second index, excluding the element that is present in the third index. Suppose if you want to modify, if you try to modify the element of that particular tuple, then that Python will generate the error message, because that tuples that is immutable, we cannot modify or reassign the tuple elements. So here Python will generate the error message type error. Okay, here in T we have the elements A, B, C, D, E, that is small letter characters. Okay, suppose if you try to change T of 0 to capital letter A, then Python will generate the error message, because tuples are immutable. We cannot modify the elements of a tuple, but you can replace one tuple with another. Okay, for example, here we have the tuple T with the elements A, B, C, D, that is the small letter characters. Okay, now you can just change small letter A to the capital letter A, and remaining elements are as it is. How we can do this? Okay, that means here we can replace one tuple with another. Okay, now T equal to A, that is here we are creating one tuple with single element. Okay, that single element, that is the capital letter A, plus operator that is used for the concatenation. Then next parameter or next statement T of 1:. Okay, that means we are taking the elements from the tuple T from first index. So output will be in 0th index we have the capital letter A, and remaining elements, that is the element that is present in the tuple T, that is B, C, D, E. So here we can replace one tuple with another tuple, so that you can modify the tuple content. Directly we cannot modify that tuple elements. You can create one more tuple. One more method, you can create the tuple using the list. Okay, here for that tuple built-in method we are passing the list as argument. Okay, here we have the list with the 3 elements or 3 items. First element that is integer, second element that is nested list, and third element that is the string. Okay, you can just pass this list as the argument for the tuple method. Okay, it will generate the tuple. Same way we can create the tuple using another tuple. Okay, here T is one tuple. We are creating the tuple T2. For tuple built-in method we are passing T as argument. Now it will create the tuple T1, and here in this example both T and T1 objects are referring to the same memory location. So here if you give T is T1, it will display the output true, that is T1 is a reference to T. Okay, next and we will discuss comparing the tuples. How we can compare two tuples. Tuples can be compared using the operators like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or equivalent operator. Okay, now in equivalent operator, it will check the equality among two tuple objects. The first item in the first tuple is compared with the first item in the second tuple. If they are same, then second items are compared. Again, that comparison will continue till either a mismatch is found or item get over. Okay, here in this particular example, in the first tuple we have 1, 2, 3. Again in the second tuple we have the items 1 to 5. First it will compare the first item that is present in the first tuple and the first item that is present in the second tuple, that is same. Then it will compare the second item that is present in the first tuple and second item present in the second tuple, that also same. Then it will compare the third items. Okay, third item present in the first tuple, third item that is present in the second tuple, that is not same, so it will return the value false. In second example, both tuple values are same, so it will return the value output true. Again, how we can use the less than and greater than operators. Okay, usually in other languages, these two operators we are using to check whether that two numbers are less than or greater than. But here, that tuples were not exactly less than or greater than. Okay, instead of that, it checks whether that first tuple comes before second tuple, or whether that first tuple comes after second tuple. For that we are using the less than and greater than operators. For example, here first tuple contains 1, 2, 3 and second tuple that contains 1 to 5. So 1, 2, 3 that is comes before 1 to 5, so output is true. Again 3, 4 that comes before 5 2, so output is true. Now we can use relational operator on tuples containing the non-comparable types. Okay, suppose if you try to compare two tuple items with that comparable operators like less than, greater than, or equal. Suppose if that two tuples are not under the same data type, then Python will generate the error message. For example, here first tuple contains two items, that is first one is the integer and second is the string. Again second tuple that contains two items, both are string type. So while comparing, it will compare the first item of the first tuple with the first item of the second tuple, but here the data types are different. First one is the integer, second one is the string. So here Python will generate the error message, that is the type error, not supported between the instances of int and string. Okay, next we will discuss about the tuple assignment. One of the unique feature of this Python is ability to have a tuple on the left side of an assignment statement. That means we can usually in other programming language, left side of the assignment operator that will contain only one variable. But here in Python we can have more than one variable in left side. Okay, here we can have the tuples in the left side. Okay, so in this example xy equal to 10, 20. In left side we have two items. Again in right side we have two items. Okay, now in this particular case we are assigning the value 10 to the variable x. Again we are assigning the value to 20 to the item or variable y. So if you print x, it will display 10. Again if you print y, it will display 20. This allows you to assign more than one variable at a time when the left side is a sequence. Okay, for example, here in yum we have the list, okay, that contains two items. X comma y equal to yum means for x it will copy have, again for y it will copy fun. One more example, m of 0 it will copy to the variable x, again m of 1 it will copy to the variable y. Okay, same method here we have to copy separately. Suppose if you didn't use the tuples, but if you use the tuples directly, you can copy the content of m to x and y. Okay, this method we can use to swap the values of two variables. Okay, you can write that code in single statement. Okay, a comma b equal to b comma a. In other programming language, what we have to do, we have to take one temporary variable. Using that temporary variable, we can copy the contents of two variables. Okay, but here because of that unique property, you can directly assign the value of b to a, again value of a to b, so that you can swap the contents of two variables. The number of variables on the left and number of values on the right must be same, otherwise Python will generate the error message. Okay, here in left side we have only two numbers or two variables. Again in the right side we have three numbers. In this particular case Python will generate the error message. We cannot assign the values because in both sides we should have the equal number of variables and equal number of values. Okay, using this property we have one example. Okay, here you can copy, here we have the mail ID. We can split this mail ID based on the delimiter yet, so that we'll get two part. One is the ID part, again second is the domain part. Okay, that address you can copy to the two variable. Okay, here we have the uname and domain. Use the split function based on delimiter at, it will just split that mail ID into two part. First part, that is Monty, that will copy to the uname, and python.org, that is the domain part, it will copy to the variable domain. Okay, if you print uname, you have the variable Monty. Again if you print the value of domain, we have the domain name python.org. This is one application of the Python. Directly you can split the mail ID and copy it to the two variables in single statement. Okay, now we will discuss how we can get the tuples from the dictionary. Okay, in dictionary we have one method called items that returns a list of tuples where each tuple is a key value pair. Okay, for example, here we have the dictionary with three items. That items are A:10, B:1, again C:22. Here we are using the we are applying the items method for the dictionary D. Now this method, it will return the list, and that list that contains the tuples, and each tuple is having the key and value pair. Okay, now output of this method, that is a list with the tuple B:1. Again here B is key, 1 is value, A is key, 10 is value, one more tuple, in that C is key, again 22 is value. But here dictionary may not display the contents in an order. Suppose if you want to display that list content or tuples in some order, then you can apply the sort method. Okay, here after getting the list of tuples, you can apply the sort method for that particular list T, so that here it will display the elements, or it will sort the tuples of that particular list in ascending order based on the keys, or in alphabetical order based on the keys. Now in previous slides we have discussed how we can use the items. It will return the list of tuples that contains key and value pairs, and we have discussed tuple assignment. Tuple assignment means we can have the tuple in the left side of the assignment operator, and we know how we can use the for loop. Now combining these items, tuple assignment and for loop, we can traverse key and values of a dictionary in a single loop or single statement. Okay, for example, here this loop that contains two iteration variables, that is key and value, because D is dictionary. Items returns a list of tuples. This item method that will returns a list of tuples. Key and value is a tuple assignment that successively iterates each of the key value pairs in the dictionary. The output of this particular code, that is 10A and 22C, again 1 and 1 comma B. Okay, here we are printing the value first, then we are printing the key. So A is the key, 10 is value, C is key, 22 is value, again B is key, 1 is value. Okay, till now we have discussed about strings, tuples, list and dictionary. Now we apply the knowledge and write a program to find most commonly used 10 words in a text file. How we can do that? First, in this program we have to open one file, then create one empty dictionary. After that, take a for loop that iterates through every line of your file. Then remove all the punctuation marks. For that, here we use make trans and translate function. Then convert alphabet to lowercase letters, because in previous example we have discussed that suppose if you have the word like how, again how, okay, now it will consider that as separate two words. So we have to convert all uppercase letter to the lowercase letter. Then take a loop, that is for loop, and iterate over every word in a line. Okay, every word in a line. If the word is not in dictionary, then treat that word as the key and initialize its value as 1. Initialize its value as 1. If the word is already there in dictionary, then increment the value. Once all the files are iterated, you will have a dictionary containing distinct word and their frequency. Now, after that, take a list and append each key value pair into it. Okay, for that here we are using for loop. Again, in that for loop we have two iteration variables, that is key and value. Using the item method, you can get all the key and value pair and it will generate the list. That is for loop, and here for that list we have to append all value and key pairs. After that, sort the list in descending order. Okay, for that here we are using list.sort reverse equal to true, and display only 10 elements from the list to get more frequent words, more frequent 10 words. Okay, using in this particular way we can find the most frequently used 10 words. Now we will discuss using tuples as keys in dictionary. How we can use tuple as a key in dictionary? As tuples and dictionaries are hashable, when we want a dictionary containing composite keys, we will use tuples. For example, here we need to create telephone directory where name of a person is first name and last name pair, and value is the telephone number. Here first name and last name, that is the key, and value is the telephone number. Here what we have to do is, inside the for loop we have to consider the last name and first name. Okay, that is the key, and number we have to assign in that particular key. We have to store the number in that particular keys. Okay, till now we have discussed different types of data structures like strings, list, tuples. Okay, in many situations we can select any one of the data structure to perform some operations. But these data structures are always not same because of their difference in behaviors. We may need to decide which one to use in a program. Now to do that, okay, here let us discuss some key points related to the different data structures. Okay, that is based on the properties. We have to select one of the data structure from that set of data structures. Okay. First, strings are more limited compared to other sequences like list and tuples because the elements in strings must be characters only. Again, strings are immutable. Hence, if we need to modify the character in a sequence, it is better to go for a list of characters than string. Okay, suppose if you want to modify the sequence, or if you want to modify the elements, then instead of strings we can go for the other data structures. Again, about the list, lists are mutable. They are most common compared to tuples, but in some situations they are different. Okay, now what is the difference between list and tuples? When we have a return statement from a function, it is better to use tuples rather than list. When a dictionary key must be a sequence of elements, then we must use immutable type like strings and tuples. When a sequence of elements is being passed to a function as argument, usage of tuples reduces unexpected behavior due to aliasing. As tuples are immutable, the methods like sort and reverse cannot be applied on them. But Python provides built-in functions sorted and reversed, which will take a sequence as an argument and return a new sequence with modified results. Okay, by considering all these points based on the data structures, we have to decide which data structure is more relevant to our program. Based on that, we have to select again based on the functionality of that particular data structure, based on the properties of that particular data structure, we have to select any one of the data structure. Okay, thank you.